Hello and welcome to round two with myself,
Catch
Daryl,
yourself.
and Jane. Thank you. No, Nicole, she's been sacked because she can't do. She's told. No, she's not. I'm only joking. She is running late because she's stuck at work, so she'll be with us as soon as she can. I think she's just messaged me actually. Leaving now should make the last hour at least. So she should be on for about 10:02, 5:02. So it's not too bad.
Right.
So as long as you don't press anything, so good.
Poor Nicole.
How are you guys? You okay?
Good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we're slowly watching our cornfield come down. So I'm going to have my view back with our cameras.
So
this is the third day.
How high is the corn? Is it about 8 foot, 7-8 foot?
It was about 8 foot. It's way past Errol, and he's 6'3".
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Have you not been in?
Yeah, sometimes it gets up to like 10 foot. You know, I think that one year it was 12 foot almost.
Really?
Yeah, wow. It was bad.
GMO. So he doubled up this year. So he almost has like a double crop in this field, and it usually takes them 2 days. This is their third day, and they're not even halfway through yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you ever go in the corn?
Oh yeah.
Like
Sometimes. I mean, not all the way in. It gets creepy.
No.
So I'll go in like maybe 8 to 10 rows, and then it kind of feels like you're in a different place. So then I come out.
Do you ever go looking for stuff like paranormal stuff or just anything in general?
Oh, I did last year. I was gifted rocks, and there was one time we found this perfect circle of rocks, and it was like 10 rocks in a perfect circle in one of the rows, and we're thinking, okay. And I saw some weird footprints last year that were kind of round, which I hope wasn't a dog man.
Well, you never know. Do you get
it
wouldn't be a raccoon. Yeah, it wouldn't be a raccoon or anything. I don't know if you get raccoons out there.
Oh, we got raccoons, possums, skunks, you name it.
Yeah.
Fox.
So they're not going to collect the rocks and put them in a circle, are they?
No.
They're not that.
No.
That
no, this was a perfect circle, and I mean there was no mistake in it, and it was closer. It was within a couple rows of our barn. The machine shed that we have was for their combine. It originally went with the field, so we bought the house and the barn, Morton shed. And so right behind it, it seems like it's the most activities right between our garden and that Morton shed. So if anybody ever watches our live videos, they'll see that because that's where the goats and chickens are, the pens, and
our neighbors are elderly.
Right behind that shed is like a lot of activity.
And our neighbors are elderly. They wouldn't be going out there and putting they weren't shiny polished, but they were white rocks. They were not regular river rocks that you would normally see.
Just random, any old stuff.
And I found other strange rocks that were just laying right on top of the dirt, not mud underneath after a rainstorm. Actually, I have one here. Very uniquely shaped. And that is almost the shape of that circle. Oh, let me try to get here.
Yeah, I was just going to say that looks like a bit of a footprint.
And there's it almost looks like an owl. Where's the camera? There. That's not a normal rock.
No.
And it was just laying right on top, and we had mud storms, and it wasn't like it was buried in the mud. So this year has been real quiet. I mean, I was hearing activity earlier in the summer, but I honestly think that they kind of took off for a little bit, and I'm not seeing strange rocks and things like that this year. So no gifting this year.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to ask you. That's gone. Sorry. Nothing. I've got nothing. I had a question. Oh my God. Where it's been stolen? Who stole my question?
Oh boy.
No,
maybe they don't want you to talk about it.
It was something to do with the rocks.
But we've talked to many people. We have friends that are mediums and channelers. Just kind of like you talk to people too. You have them attracted to your channel, and they tell us that they think that behind our shop in that field was either a settlement or a natural walkway or trails for the Native Americans back before Henry and all this development in our area. Plus we've been told we have little people. So I don't know if it was necessarily a Bigfoot gifting to us, or it could be little people, or it could be.
I mean, could be fairies.
Else.
We've seen trails behind, like the orbs. They're not orbs, so you see a trail, and that could be a possible fairy. So
yeah,
we really don't know.
Yeah, I've remembered the question. Have you ever set up trail cams? Or have you thought about setting up trail cams, but just putting them on like spikes or poles throughout the cornfield?
Yeah, because it's not our cornfield. We wouldn't really be allowed to do that. Yeah. So we've got 8 cameras on our property that we do use. So there is one right directly behind the field that I can zoom all over and back and forth behind the barn. Yeah, and they're not trail cams, so they're actual real, and they're not door cams either. These are real links. So they're real cameras that you don't have a delay or anything.
So two of them are actually pointed towards the field. The one behind the barn, I have it mounted as high as I could on the combine shop, and it gives you the whole view of the field. And then the other one's over by the goat pens and chicken pen, and it gives you almost half of the field, and then all the other direction towards the west. So we got 2 great field of views of our field behind us.
Yeah.
And they're going all the time also.
Yeah. Would you be able, I'm just curious, would you be able to get permission from whoever owns the cornfield to put cameras in there?
I'm not sure.
I don't know while the crop is up. I don't know. I mean, during the fall and winter, we can pretty much, we have permission to go on the property, but they don't really like people messing around when they got the harvest of the crop up.
Yeah, but suppose then once it's all been cut back, then you're not going to get.
Right.
You're not really going to get.
That's when we get the great videos of the orbs, and sometimes we think there's a portal out there moving around. Jane has that story.
Oh.
Yeah,
share?
Yeah, we just had this strange. Well, I'm not sure which portal. We had the square one that is along the tree line. I was using my ATN night vision binoculars, not the psionics, but these were the binoculars, and this was a square, and it looked glitchy on the inside, and it was moving along the tree line, and I was getting ready to record, and it fried out our ATN binoculars altogether.
Oh.
So we were told that sounded like it was a portal moving along. And then another time I was just going through videos trying to catch orbs and taking still shots to see if there's like faces and stuff in them. Well, I noticed this bright light in the tree, and sure enough, this like Tesla ball showed up in the top of the tree.
I remember you saying.
Yeah.
And so now, like I said, when the corn, we've had nothing but privacy fence in our backyard. You can't see anything with corn. So
except the night sky.
Here in a few days, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be able to zoom and see everything out there. And I can check out the field line, the tree line where I do hear activity. That is more likely the Sasquatch. Right now, I can't see nothing because of the corn.
So how long before it gets cut back?
Hopefully here in a couple more days. This is the 3rd day that they're taking it down.
Oh, right. So
so they're doing it right now.
What you're saying. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's a big field then.
It's about a 50, 60 acre field.
Wow.
Like I said, it usually takes them a couple days to take it down, but I could barely move through this cornfield this year. They double cropped it. I swear they've got a double harvest all tight in a row. It's taking them forever. They're not even half done yet. And this is the 3rd day.
Wow.
So if anybody goes to our live stream, I think Jane still has it up. We're watching the harvest.
It's up right now. The 4th semi truck is just now leaving.
And then normally when we show our live feed at night, we have the perfect view across that field. And there's actually 3 or 4 fields right behind us in a row. So it's it's not like it ends and that's all we have. We have fields all around us to the north and to the west and the east, and it's just wide open.
Yeah, I can't wait to get our view back.
Yeah, there you go.
And the deer should start showing up.
And the what, sorry?
And the deer should start showing up. Last year we had like 10 to 12 deer that would show up in the backyard and go into our garden. So normally when the fields are down, that's when the deer start showing up.
It's kind of weird because you'll see activity of the orbs and the skyfish, of which we'll be showing videos or talking about that in a little bit. It seems like the activity at certain times pick up, and sometimes it's when the deer and that show up. And I was hoping, since we had the northern lights dip all the way down into our state, and Laura, I think I sent you those photos too. That was right out of our backyard looking towards the field where I took those pictures.
Wow.
And here in a couple of days, we're going to have it even lower in the States because we got a big flare that's coming off the sun that's going to hit us here in a couple of days.
There's a chance that southern U.S. is going to be seeing the northern lights. It's going to be that big of a flare.
So I was hoping, that there would be more activity since the magnetic field has changed. So I was wondering if there was going to be something weird show up while that was going on.
Possibly. Because if that energy draws something else in with it, then you don't know what it's going to bring.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And these are strong storms that are coming into the earth.
Yeah. It is. Right. Should we play the videos then before anyone presses?
Let's show
before someone presses the button.
Yeah, play them before Nicole shows up.
Right.
Before we get on the witches' knots.
Yeah. So,
we had a lot of people reach out to us. Several have shared pictures with us of their horses with the same kind of mane and knots in their horses. So we've been getting quite a few people reaching out to us about that.
Yeah, Tammy's in chat right now.
Yeah, I just seen her then. So, do you want me to put them? Do I do the pictures first, just for anyone who didn't see Fridays, just so they know what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, the squatch notches.
Yeah.
See that right there? That's one of my favorites because you can see how you have the gap in the middle and it comes together.
And then it's dreadlocks in the bottom.
And then when you zoom in on them, if you were actually there to see the horse, you could see that there's little pieces of hay or straw mixed in with it, and it's braided and it's tied off in a knot. Yeah. So it's not like it's just matted together. It's an actual knot that's tied in.
Yeah. You can see together. You can see the pattern between the middle and the bottom knot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got this other one as well, haven't you?
Yep. Yeah, so there was 2 horses on that farm that we experienced when we went out there to pick up our baby goats.
Yeah.
And it's like, like most people say that, they brush out their horses, they put them in the stalls or whatever. And the next morning they come out and there's like braids in their hair. It's like, really?
Yeah. That'd be the same as you going to bed, Gerald, and your beard being all braided because you had a bit of a rough night. It's not going to happen, is it?
No, I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, we hear the stories, of the elves and the witches, the folklore behind it, and now me and James actually went out there and actually saw a horse that had it in. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird because I grew up around horses on my grandma's farm as a kid, and they had horses, and I never experienced any braids or anything from them rolling around or brushing against fences or however they try to explain it.
Yeah, I had a horse for 10 years growing up. I don't recall this ever happening.
No. And I've never had horses. I've seen I've lived in areas where they've had horses in the field, and a lot of them areas we've had to cut through the fields to get across to where we're going. And I've never noticed anything like that unless it's been done professionally, like for show horses. Do you know what I mean? But it's not like just little bits of knots here and there and a bit of braiding done. It's been all the way down.
Yeah. It's not like what you'd see in your teenage daughter or whatever, where you actually put a braid all the way from the base all the way down.
Dressage. That's it. I couldn't think what it was called. Yeah. So it is odd goings on in the horse world. Right, so we'll do these videos. I'll just do them in order that I've got them. So I'll do the orb one first. I'll do the full video, then I'll play the slowed down version, which is about half the time. So you ready?
I'm not sure which is which. So we'll just play it and we'll find out. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the rod that it goes
wow.
inside that orb. And then now keep watching, that orb disappears. Boom. And it disappears at the end. So you can actually see the rods go straight into that orb.
Right. So that's the slow down version. And
Yeah.
this is the
That's
normal.
amazing video.
Yeah. Here we go.
That's the fast version.
I'll just play that one again.
And right there, it just disappears.
Yeah.
And you don't see it go past. It goes directly into that orb.
And the thing, you can see the trees through the orb as well.
And that's a big orb too.
That's strange. I've never seen anything like that.
And I caught that accidentally also, just going through my videos.
Yeah.
And then I slowed it down with my finger going back and forth, and I went, whoa. And then I sent it to Gerald, and he clipped it down and slowed it down. And
we were on a show, and they were perplexed too. So they actually took it and slowed it down and changed the colors on it, you know, did all this stuff on the computer, and it just got better as they did it, but we couldn't explain it. I mean, and you could almost see like that orb, like something exploded or got absorbed in it, because it kind of changed colors and light in it at the time of that went through it.
Yeah. Tim's asking, how big was the orb?
Well, compared to those trees, that's the tree line that's over there on the other side of the field by the train track. So you compare the top of that tree, that's a pretty good size orb.
But see, we couldn't see it with our naked. We can't see them with our naked eye.
Right. This is just through our binoculars.
I mean, Jane have seen some orbs, you know, with their naked eye, but most of these we're catching on film or video. So we didn't know. We don't know exactly how close that was to our camera compared to the trees.
So then you got to work out the size to the distance and all that. But it still looks, because them rod type things that you see, because they're quite large, aren't they? Like what, 2-3 inches long at least.
Yeah, some of them seem like they're even longer than that, because we have martin houses, bird houses on poles out by the field, and some of those rods or skyfish will go in front of them, so then we can kind of measure it by that. So some of them can be up to 12 inches long.
Yeah. So I'll play that again, because
it actually looks more like a skyfish than a rod.
As that, whatever it is, skyfish rod, as that goes in it, about a couple of frames after, something else, I can see something else just as the orb's moving from left to right.
If I remember right, something shoots up, doesn't it, Gerald? When we slowed it down on the other show we were on,
it looks like
there is something that shoots out of it.
Right when it gets past the edge of that big tree right out there, if you were able to slow it down or zoom in, then you would see like a little puff of something coming up.
Yeah, that's right. On that show, we were joking around like they went inside and kicked somebody out. That's what it seemed like. Wow. They invaded the orb and then kicked whoever was out.
Right. Let me get, if I play it from the original that you sent me, Gerald.
Right.
Then
I
should be able to click it. Yeah, do it frame by frame. So it's the 11-second one, isn't it? Right, let me open it. Right.
And I call rods the little cigar-shaped things. I call the skyfish the little bumpy things that look like they're spinning around. They have bumps on top and the bottom. And the rods are just look like a cigar or a TikTok.
So all these videos, like the one you just saw, the only thing I did was crop it out of the main thing, because we leave our cameras running 24/7. So we have big files that we have to go through. So
and this was off of our binoculars.
Right, so I will. There we go. So that's
so the only thing that's been done to this video was slowed down and cropped for time.
Yeah. So I can't really make it any bigger. Oh, it's not even doing it. Right, let me... I'm going to have to... Oh, here we go. No, it's not. When I make it full screen...
You almost have to play it in another, like a Windows player or some kind of media player to be able to...
So the thumbnail's coming up, but when I play it, there's nothing coming through on it. It's just blank. That is strange. Why is it not? It should just... No, it won't. It won't do it. I'm gonna have to play it normal. Sorry about that. Right. So now it goes really bright.
Yep, and then when something shoots out. Yeah, I forgot about that. That we were all laughing. It looked like somebody got kicked out of there.
Not enough room for everyone. That's what it is.
Or it burped or something when it ate. You know, they were coming up with all kinds of stuff that night.
Yeah.
Because as it goes in, it then brightens up. I know it's in front of the tree, but it's still quite bright.
And all of a sudden, it just disappears.
And gone. Wow.
It farted.
We don't know. I mean, like I said, you know, all of our stuff that we talk about, we have no real 100% conclusion on what it is. Obviously, to us, it looks like an orb, and it looks like a rod or a skyfish, whatever it is, goes into it. And then after that, we can't explain what happens or what. It's just unusual.
It is very odd. If it's all right with you, I'll download it and I'll put it on the iPad and do it frame by frame.
Yeah.
And I'll use one of the editing software that I've got on there and see if I can get anything else from it.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'll send it back to you. Right. So should we have a look at the other three now as well? So I'm not sure which one this is, but you'll be able to tell me.
Yeah, it don't matter. Just pull it up.
These are the different shapes and different sizes of rods that we've caught. We put several different small videos together.
Yeah.
And you can see they're like 12 to 15 inches long. Some are shorter. And this one at the very end, that very last frame, you see that it changed.
Yeah.
That very last frame.
Yeah. See, Bim Jim's put bugs. I know some of them might be bugs, but
not at 0 degrees outside.
Oh, but also say if it was a moth, then surely each rod or whatever would be roughly the same size as it's traveling. If it's picking it up on the night vision, it's going to have the same length of stream. I suppose that depends as well on how fast it's moving, but I don't know.
I've seen moths on our cameras, and you can actually see the wings fluttering, and you can actually see the moth.
Yeah, because they're more square as well, aren't they?
Our cameras don't do frame by frame, so to make a bug look long.
Yeah.
Bugs are round, and you can actually see them flutter, and you can see a bat actually fluttering the wings too.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I mean, like I said, we don't know how to explain it or what it is.
And we've seen them in the winter, you know,
the only terms that describe it to us is rods and skyfish, because I've watched videos on skyfish and that since I was a kid. I've seen, you know, on different shows, whether it was a Arthur C. Clarke show or Leonard Nimoy's show, you know.
Yeah.
But I never thought we'd see one in our yard or our back field. And like Jane said, you know, we had the binoculars, we have the 24/7 security cameras going, and we have tons of footage of what bats look like, birds,
I've got all kinds of bugs and bats and things like that on our cameras.
Yeah.
So these examples just are different than what we catch when we think it's a moth. And when we go outside, we were on a live our live night owl lounge, which is late at night, and it was in the middle of winter.
18 degrees out.
18 degrees out, snow on the ground, wasn't snowing, no dust in the air. I went outside so you could see me on camera, and I visibly could not see any bugs, anything floating around. couldn't visibly see those skyfish, but one came out of the field and went right past my head like it was heading towards our house.
And we also switched over to the barn cameras. We have 2 of them inside the barn. To watch the chickens and goats. We showed our audience the difference of dust. There is dust inside that barn floating around. So we usually don't have the IR on. It's distracting. So we've had our binoculars for 7 years. These cameras, the 24/7 ones, we've had for a year, and we've had our psionics camera for about 5 years. So I've been doing it enough to know what is a bug, what is a bat, and we keep an eye on the, if it is it snowing, is it dust outside, is there a breeze? Well, when it's 0 degrees, we don't have bugs in Illinois in the wintertime.
No.
So when you see these orbs and rods and skyfish, we're not experts, but we don't know what else to say. They're not bugs.
I mean, if somebody can tell us or identify what it is, we're more than willing to listen to anybody's explanation of it. But as far as we can tell, we can't see with the naked eye, and they're appearing in the IR.
Yeah.
And they don't look like anything that we normally would see during the summer or day, or of an insect or so we don't know.
To give another example, Garrel said, you know what? I'm going to go outside and experiment. We're live on our night show. He goes upstairs, starts putting his Carhartt and his boots and everything on. I'm still on with the show, watching the cameras. These orbs and things were come flying in from the field. Like they knew he was getting ready to go outside. It was amazing. And everyone in the audience is like, oh my gosh, look at him show up. They must, and
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
So I walked all the way out to the field. We have a burn pit right there with concrete blocks and stuff. So I sat on there with my hands up and just telling them, okay, show yourself, come land on my hand, come interact with me. And the one came all the way out of the field and went right by me on our live show that night, but I couldn't see it. I mean, I had a flashlight out and I was looking around to see if there was anything in the air, as far as insects or dust or anything. There was nothing. It wasn't no precipitation, no snow, anything.
So if somebody don't want to believe us, that is perfectly fine. If they want to say it's bugs when it's 0 degrees, I mean, that's their option.
I get that because I go out investigating. I like going in the summer because it stays lighter longer, but there's too many bugs and mosquitoes and midges and gnats and all that. But in winter, you can go out. There's nothing. There might be the odd little one here and there, but you've not got swarms of them like you have in summer.
Well, somebody still wants to say that they're bugs in the winter. That's their option.
But there was one that Paranormal Scouter put up. Now, do you get this? He goes, I like bouncing back off an object. So close can distort the image, can make it look brighter or bigger than what it actually is. But you're not getting that every single time, are you?
No.
It's not a constant ongoing thing.
And if you go on our 24/7 now, you can see how far away those trees are from our property.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was not anything close. When I focus the ATM binoculars, I focus on the trees. So the trees look nice and focused. And then I just see what's in front of the tree lines.
Have you ever thought of knocking the focus off and not focusing on anything?
I've changed it back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. Has that altered anything with your videos or stills or no?
It just looks, when I change it, it's really out of focus. I just learned, 7 years ago, like, okay, if I make the trees look really nice, and then that way I'm seeing something right in front of the tree line.
Yeah.
But other than those videos that we showed you, like I said, we have hundreds of hours of videos that we've taken and footage.
Yeah.
But we'll see like different size orbs, different size skyfish, where some are in front and some are behind, way behind. You can still tell what they look like and have definition to them. So it's like, okay, what is this? And then, during the summer when we do our our videos or whatever, you can see, you know, okay, obviously that was a bug, an insect. We're starting to get where we can identify them through our footage, even though we can't really tell what the skyfish or rods are. But we're able to identify the bats and the birds and the
lightning bug. A lightning bug will shine and it's round. It's not making a rod shape or anything. So our cameras are not trail cams. They're not a door cam. These are real cameras that are not doing frame by frame. So when you see a lightning bug flash, it's not creating a rod. So that's another way that I can explain. Okay, bugs are round. Orbs are translucent. You can see behind it. A bug is pure white.
Yeah.
And it's round.
So do you know what frame rate the video is taken at?
I believe on ATN, it's probably 30 feet per second.
Right.
And then our cameras are set up at 60, I believe, the outside cameras.
Yeah. So the good quality cameras then.
Oh, yeah.
You mean the FPC?
Yeah, because the Psionics and the ATN binoculars are HD quality.
Yeah.
And the actual security cameras that we bought specifically to watch this stuff is actually, they are also HD, but they can go up to 4K.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, no, I'm just reading what people are putting in the chat. No one's being horrible. They're just asking questions about like different frame rates and all that kind of stuff. But where is it? Brian's just put, you can tell the difference between orbs and anything else if you're used to seeing them. So like you guys are, if you're constantly watching them, you're going to learn what all these different things are unknowingly, regardless, because you're constantly watching. You're going to work out, right, like you said, this is a bat, this is a moth, this is...
I have videos of moths, and we should have sent it to you to show people what a bug looks like on these cameras. We probably should have sent that. So
no, it's fine. There's enough on there to go on YouTube and Google and that to have a look, so you can see the difference for themselves anyway.
You know, it's like we said, you know, we don't know 100% what anything is. We're just trying to describe it the best that we can and what we're experiencing, and we don't know. I mean, like I said, I wish there was an expert on orbs and skyfish or whatever cameras that can come over and help us or determine, but we're not, like I said, we're not manipulating anything. It's just natural footage, the way it comes out. In almost every night during the summer and the winter, we have our cameras going, so you can come and watch them yourselves, and people can sit there and say, okay, what was that? You know, tell us in chat what you think it is.
When I upload these videos, there's no editing. I upload the straight file. There's no editing. I'm uploading the file. You can see the date, the ATN, everything on it.
No, that's the same as what I do, and that's the reason why I do it when I go out investigating. I cut like the little bit of boring bits of like going from one location to another if there's nothing on there. But just to make the video shorter, I don't cut anything out. And everything else, what you see is what you get. And I think that's the best way of doing it, because you're proving that this is what it is. This is what's happening. You don't always get anything, or you might always get something, and this is what you're getting. And I just believe doing raw footage is the best way of doing it. That's just my own.
I mean, we go through hours of, and Jane especially, she goes through hours of video, you know, looking through to see what might be there. And you know, most times it's just normal videos of, well, that's nothing, you know, or whatever. And then all of a sudden something like that skyfish or that orb going through shows up. You know, so we clip that section out.
Well, that's it. It's like you said, you've got hours and hours of footage, but how much of that do you get something odd? Do you know what I mean? It's like what, probably about 5%.
That's why I'm not uploading tons of videos. If I upload something like the rod going into an orb or something, that's what I'm going to upload, of things that I can't explain. So if I can't, you know, figure it out, like, oh, that could be a bug, I'm not going to upload it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to upload something that I cannot explain. You know, like I said, we're not experts. You know, other people, they can have their own opinions. If, you know, if, oh, it's just, you know, bugs, or people can fake things or whatever. They can believe what they want. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't prove it.
No, but the thing is, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Right.
At the moment, there is no wrong or right. The only wrong or right is that this is what I filmed. I didn't fake it. This is legit. Or this is what I filmed. I did fake it. I did it to prove a point. So I think they're the only two roads that you can really go down. Is what I think anyway. But Brian has just put a comment up, which is quite interesting. So, not this one, sorry. I've never caught a skyfish or rod indoors ever. The skyfish, as a title they've adopted, are only mainly seen outside. So I know I've had IR cameras inside. Yeah, where are you?
Right.
When I lived there, where I used to live. So if I was away for the week or the weekend, it was set up around the house. So if anything happened, if anyone broke in or anything like that, I'd have it all on camera, and it was uploaded to the cloud, so it was constant. So you could go on my phone, check it, and see what's going on. You know, like you can with the pet cam and all that kind of stuff,
right?
Like the cameras you've got indoors. So that's indoors. So I know loads of people that have got that, but I've never seen anybody upload any footage of an indoor IR cam with these skyfish rods, whatever you want to call them, that are always outside.
We had a camera downstairs last year, and we were picking up orbs, but that is true. We weren't seeing rods and skyfish. We were just seeing dust and, you know, a possible orb.
So why are we not seeing them indoors? Why are we only seeing them outdoors?
Well, we've gone outside with our flashlights. We have a UV, the purple flashlight. If these things are physical, wouldn't we be feeling them hit us? You know, you feel a bug hit you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I honestly think the IR is picking up something interdimensional.
Possibly. I was going to say,
then they'd be able to be indoors.
Something like something out of our visual spectrum.
Right.
But then, can we talk about something else? Because my head's hurting. I don't know. Why
these cameras like we're using now for our live stream, you know, they're Elgato 4K cameras. Me and Jane both have them.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking to Steve Stockton. We had him on our show. We were talking about Appalachian folklore and fairies. And then out of this picture right behind me, that gun picture on the wall, a little gradient, whatever came out of that picture. And it was just a physical looking white orb, and it just floated around behind and disappeared right behind me.
I mean, it came out of the gun, and you can kind of see wings go up and then went down behind his head. You should have sent him that video. They're on our.
Yeah, I mean, we have them uploaded. The full show is up on our website, you know, our YouTube site, so anybody can go watch them. And we broke it down, and that's how most of our shows after that time started. We kept talking about that. Then every time we had a live show, something else would appear out of the quilt or from somewhere else behind us and float around.
And then it just kind of stopped.
So do you find that you have certain periods of the year where it's ongoing? And then other times there's big gaps, whether it's seasonal or just some sort of pattern?
Now with the orbs and everything outside, they're constant.
Yeah.
Like I said, even in the winter time, you know, when all the bugs are done and gone, so the orbs and they're pretty much constant. Now Sasquatch seems like they're kind of coming and going. I hear things, and then it's quiet for a couple months, and they kind of come and go.
Yeah. So do you think they're passing through the Sasquatch?
I'm not sure.
Feeding, mating, looking for somewhere to live? I don't know.
Well, I mean, we've seen pictures and videos, and we actually have one ourselves. It's a pretty good size orb, and it looks like there could be a Bigfoot sitting inside of it, like it's going somewhere with the orb.
Oh, sure, you should send them that too. Yeah, we do have a picture of an orb that people said it looks like Curious George, And it just looks like a Sasquatch squished inside this orb, like he's driving it around.
But we've seen other people have videos like
before.
that. I've seen other videos of that or pictures that people have, like it looks like a Sasquatch, looks like an alien, looks like something sitting inside of that orb as it's going along. So is it a transporter? Is it a way for them to go dimensional?
Well, Jessica Jones talks about a video of them catching an orb and ETs coming out.
Yeah. See, there's quite a lot. Fire Spirit, who's in the chat, Wayne, he sent me a few. I don't know if you guys have seen them. He sent me a few. I think it's from his house. I'm not 100% sure, of orbs. And there's one. It looks like next to a lamp, and then it looks like there's a grey at the side of it. That's in one photo. Then on another is like an imprint, but it looks like the Hat Man.
Yes, I've seen that. Well, it actually is on your show, I think.
Yeah,
that I saw that where the image was on the wall of the Hat Man.
Yeah, and we use different coloured filters to try and like whether clean it up or remove it from the actual image. Yeah, I think you was on as guests when I was showing them. I'm sure you was. But so he's getting, these are inside the house, and these orbs are like what, standard table lamp, 2 foot, and this orb is probably about a quarter the size of that. So
I know I have no idea. I mean, that's usually why we don't put the cameras inside, just because of dust and stuff. So it's kind of hard to let people say, because they just automatically say, well, that's dust. Well, not everything
that is the thing.
Dust, but
if you used to put it in where you got the goats in the shed and that, because of all the hay and everything, it's just going to be constant dust, isn't it, really?
There's a difference between dust and orbs, and there's a difference between bugs. I mean, if you watch them long enough, you do figure things out like that. But you can't explain it to others. They're still going to have their opinion on it.
Yeah. And everyone will have their own opinion,
right?
Whether they agree with you or not, there's nothing wrong with that, because this is what all this is about: finding out what it is that we're trying to discover, trying to work out what everything is. So the more opinions, the better.
It's just like what we said, Andy. I mean, we don't know. We're not experts. We're just telling you what we're catching and trying to describe it the best we can. And we don't know what they are. We don't know 100% what they are. And we're looking for answers just like everybody else. And and when we first started catching stuff, I was kind of like that. Jing goes, look at this, look at this. I says, oh, I think that's a bug. I mean, I was the same way. I see more and more. I kept watching these videos.
I see something moving across the sky, or the very first time I was showing them the Big Dipper. Oh, they gotta be satellites. I'm going, these aren't satellites. So,
but that's the thing. I think when you first start seeing it, straight away, logical mind kicks in, and you're trying to disprove that it's anything other than normal.
Right.
So everyone is a skeptic to some level. Regardless of how deep into research with the paranormal you get. Because I'll watch videos, I'll see photos, people putting stuff online. I'm like, I can't look at any more of this. It's ridiculous.
Well, these days, it's hard. They don't listen to your story. They don't believe your story anymore. So then when you have proof, they rip apart your proof and say it still isn't. And so, you just don't know what to do. You try to show evidence, and then people go, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah. But then I'll see other videos or footage and photos and that, and it's like, oh my God, that is so clear. It can't be anything but what the person is believing that it is. So, and as I've always said, as you guys know, unless you are there and you are seeing it for yourself and experiencing it, you can't really go around and say, no, you're lying. No, you didn't see that. No, that didn't happen, because
they don't believe you if you had a witness.
I know. You can't win. You can't win.
Yeah, you show a video, they say, it's fake. I can do that. There's no winning.
Yeah, I get people that can recreate it.
Right.
And
I have no idea how to edit, folks. Or I'd be making beautiful music videos and editing. I don't know how to edit.
It takes so long to do it. Editing is the longest process of anything of it.
Well, even with my music videos, I record, I get rid of the beginning and the end of me walking away and hitting record, and I upload. I have no idea how to edit.
Yeah. But it's like with my intro and the outro video and that, even though it's only like cartoony or still images and AI and all that kind of stuff, you still need to put it together, and it's getting it right. So to do that and then to get actual real video footage and create something fake, that'd be a nightmare to try and do.
I don't have time for that. I got animals to take care of.
Yeah. There's not enough hours in the day. I just no. I could one for a start, I couldn't be bothered to do it. Two, I wouldn't make it and put it out there and say, look at this, look at what I found. If it was to do one, it'd be like, right, I've done this. It is fake. I'll say straight exactly what it is, and then I try and compare it to something similar and see what people think of the comparison of the two. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Just to show that it can be done, and people's perception of what they're looking at isn't always the same as the next person.
I mean, if you watch our full videos, like what's 24/7 or anything Jane catches off the psionics, while she's recording, you'll see her say, "Okay, that's an airplane," or that's this. Then all of a sudden, something will do a power up or whatever, and she'll say, "Wow, look at that! I don't know what that is," or thank you, she'll say thank you for doing that, whatever you are.
I can't tell you how many times people question us. What's the blinky thing? I went, you guys, that's a plane.
or we can see a farmhouse. We can see a farmhouse on our videos, and we tell them, okay, that's the light from this farmhouse or this house over there. That's nothing.
It's a cell tower. What's that blinking over there? It's a cell tower.
Yeah. But it's like during lockdown, we'd gone for a walk, beautiful day, blue skies, all trees, bright green and that. And I just took a random photo, just on my phone. And I noticed a little tiny black dot in up near the top right-hand corner. So I zoomed right in, and I zoomed in far enough so it didn't go all pixelated, and then took a screenshot of it. When I find it, I'll send it you. But when you look at it like that, it looks like a flying humanoid. I know it's not. It's either a bee, it's a bee or a wasp or a hornet or something.
Yeah.
You can, if you zoom in more, just that little bit more, you can see that it is a bug. But to the point that I zoomed it in at, it looks like a flying humanoid. He's got the two legs hanging down, wings. It looks like a body in the head and all that. It looks human-like. I know it's a bug. I know it wasn't someone flying past. I didn't even see it when I took the picture, so I know it wasn't there.
I have caught praying mantis on these cameras. Yes, I could upload and say, look at the fairy, you guys. It's a fairy. No, I know it's a praying mantis. They've got the legs and the long body and the, so I'm very careful I try to debunk it as much as I can.
Well, that's the best.
I think a lot of times we're our own worst critics.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we don't upload a lot of stuff. It's like, no, I don't think that's anything, and we'll tell you straight up. I mean, we were doing a live show, and when the thing came out from behind us again, or for me, Jane was in the other room, and people in chat were saying, "Hey, I think I heard a voice," or whatever. And Jane was in the other room watching that.
Yeah, someone said
she was reading it in chat, and
someone
was whispering to herself, and that's what we heard. So we came out right away and said, "No, we debunked this." It was actually Jane caught on a hot mic saying whatever the chat was saying.
It was young boy. Yeah, someone said, I thought it was a young boy. So I'm in the other room going, young boy. I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Well, then when we're rewatching it, I'm going, what was that voice? Well, then I look on my screen and you can see I'm saying it. So we try to debunk everything.
Yeah. Right. Shall we put the other videos up? Because I think there's two more to go
let's
through.
do another video.
Right. So this is This is one. I think this is one of the sky. This is don't know if it's UV or IR, but I'll play it anyway.
That was our very first video that we uploaded. And we just got the psionics. We're still messing with the settings. That's why it is color and stuff. We just got our psionics. And I truly thought it was a plane coming in from the Quad Cities, because when you see a plane from that direction, it just stays there. It looks like, oh, it's not blinking. It's not moving. What is that? Well, then eventually it starts getting closer, and then you start seeing the blinks. That's what I thought this was. Then I started noticing it was cigar shaped. So I went running inside, grabbed the psionics, and that's what I caught going over the barn. And you can see our tree. And then when it gets over our house, it just disappears over our house.
Yeah, I think you sent me that last year. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
There's no Starlink that night.
Yeah, because I didn't look for any of these videos. I've waited for you guys to come on, so you get like real reaction from me. But I do remember seeing that now that I've watched it. So that was one of the ones that you sent me last year.
Yeah.
Can you watch that again? Because that is amazing. See, I'm trying to work out is if it's coming down like that or it's moving across the sky like that.
That's what I was trying to explain to people, that I've seen Elon Musk train many times, and they, you know, they're one after another. This was flying at an angle like geese, and Elon Musk's train does not do that.
It's like if there was a dome on top, whatever's in it is kind of, I'm not saying it is that, but this is what I'd get from this. Is they'd be looking out, say, the cockpit and looking out to what's going on. It's probably more advanced than that, but that's just my take on it. Hello, Nicole.
The funny thing about that, Betty. Hi, Nicole.
Do not press any buttons. We need to see your hands all the time.
Oh my God, I am so sorry.
It's fine. I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Don't know.
What you must have caught it as you was coming out, and once you do end stream now, you can't stop it. There's no. If you press it accidentally, tough. It's one of them. So don't worry.
I'm
the
tired.
Back, it's all good. But yeah, did you see this video? I'll play it again.
And watch behind it. You see little flashes behind it.
Ooh. That's
right.
weird.
Where you said there's a flash behind it, I don't think it is. If you look at the length of that, I think you've got another length behind it that's not lit up, and then the back of it, because you can see it's blacking out the sky, even though it's quite difficult to see. But if you look, it's probably about 3/4 of the length of the bit that's lit up, and then you've got the tail end, and that's just catching the light.
The same thing got recorded 3 days before that in Washington. It was James Gilliland out of East Eddy Ranch. So it was 3 days before. So if it was a Elon Musk, it would not still be together several days. They would be spreading all the way apart. There was no launch. He looked up a launch that night. We looked up a launch. There was nothing up there. So we're guessing it's some kind of a ship.
Well, say that's the thing that I'll do it so you can see. there. Do it on my head. So you've got that, which is the bit that's lit up. Then you've got a bit at the back, which is about that length. And then the back bit there is what's catching the light.
Oh, okay.
So see if you, I just noticed that then. I didn't notice it before. You can see how it's cutting the sky behind it as it's going across.
Wow.
You get what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Starlink, Elon Musk, Starlink was not available. There's apps out there. You can look them up and see if they're in your area or if there was a launch, and there was not. And I think there was a couple other places in the US that also took the video.
But I thought that Starlink was more spread out. It's like,
it is. We have videos of that too.
Oh, right.
We've got videos on our channel. They are separated. They appear one light at a time, and they follow each other, and you can see them separated. We've never seen them this close together. And like I said, Starlink appears and then disappears in a short place in the sky. I was seeing this in the horizon come all the way across and then finally disappeared above our house. Starlink does not do that also. They just appear a little bit and then disappear. They don't go all the way across the sky.
No, because that's the light bouncing back from Starlink, isn't it? Where this seems to be emitting its own light. But do you get what I mean about that little bit behind it?
Right. Yes.
You can see it cutting out, and then there's like a tail light.
Then even something behind that visible one at the beginning of the video, there's something about this far away that kind of blinks on and off behind it, like it's following it.
Now, if you go to Iseti Ranch on YouTube, he saw the same thing a year later again, and took another video. It looked identical to what he saw a year before and what we filmed. And then a year later, he said on his birthday or something, it showed up at his ranch again.
Right, I'll play it one more time because this is an amazing video.
For some reason, it got cut off at the end. The actual footage, if you go to our channel and hit videos, go all the way down. It's the very, very first one. You can actually see it disappear above our house.
Because what it reminds me of, do you have the light aircraft and you have a banner at the back saying "Happy Birthday" or "Happy," and it reminds me of that, and like it's towing something behind it. But then the back where it looks like it's blipping that light, it's not a continuous pattern. It's just sporadic. It's every now and it does it like 3 times or something, but there's not got the same gap between each one.
Right. People were speculating whether it was the Iseti video or ours in our chat. Even they were saying, well, maybe it's dropping off little drones or something off the back once in a while. Because like I said, at the very beginning of that video, it doesn't last very long, or Jane starts zooming in and you can't see it, but there's something flashing or like following behind it even.
Very
but
I like that you guys went to immediately like check if Starlink was in the area or check if there was any launch. Like you tried to kind of debunk things before you just jumped to it's a UFO.
Right.
And I reached out to Tyler from Journey to Truth, and he immediately looked up in our area because he's just right down there, the southern of where we live in St. Louis or Missouri. And he looked up for Starlink on his apps, and he couldn't find anything coming across our area, his area, anything that night.
And I know James Gilliland looked up also, and he said there was no launch. And then it came over our place 3 days later. And then, like I said, he also saw it for the second time a year after that.
Yeah. It
So
is
we don't
very
know
interesting.
what it is. We just know it's nothing that we've seen before or can explain. It wasn't on Flight Radar 24 for anything weird. It wasn't on any of the satellite apps that we've downloaded. I mean, we started downloading a lot of them to try to figure this out.
Flight apps. And that's what started Midwest Night Watchers. That's our first video. And I just wanted a place to save my orb videos and other videos. We had no idea we were ever going to have a show. You know, there was just a place for friends and family, you know, and I can just upload these videos. And then all of a sudden, yes, it just kind of increased. And now been almost 2 years since we've been doing our podcast.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Right. Should we play the last one?
Yeah.
I just want to. Yeah, I think it is. I just want to keep watching these videos all night, to be honest with you. Right. You ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Tons.
Wow. Look at them all.
Not satellites.
No, because.
Wow.
That must be an old video. Garrel, you didn't send one on a tripod.
Whatever one was on my iPad is the one I sent. So I don't know.
If you go to our channel, the very last one that says 10x speed, that's what is from this summer. A couple years ago, I'm hand holding the psionics. I've learned to put it on a tripod now. And so they're a lot better. But 3 years in a row, this happened. It starts around the 8th of August. And I thought, okay, Lionsgate portal. Well, Lionsgate portal doesn't last 6-7 weeks. So this happens for an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the beginning.
Yeah.
In 6-7 weeks. And then it just stops. And it's happened 3 years in a row now. And they are going different directions, all scattered all over the place.
Yeah. I'm going to play it again because it's nearly swore then. It's really good. Because you just not, I noticed that the three going like at the back of the Big Dipper, the front of it, whatever. Then you notice the ones at the top, then the ones at the bottom, and they're moving up and left and right and down and
the blinking thing of the plane.
Yeah, so you can see the plane going in the opposite direction. But did you see just before that ends? There's one of them that's traveling with them, and then it stops and shoots back in the direction of the plane.
No, I did not notice that.
So if you look, where you got the Big Dipper, so you got the 2, then it goes 1, 2, 3. On that bit, where you see the plane blinking on the opposite way, you see one in the middle. It's traveling like that, then it stops and shoots back. Like,
oh wow!
Oh, I didn't see that.
So if you look, where you got the 3 main stars of the Big Dipper,
yep.
So you can see the plane at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's just crossing the star now. If you watch one above it now, that's going to the right, it stops about now. Where is it? No, now, and then she starts coming back. Did you see it?
Interesting.
So I'm not sure if they're coming in or if they're leaving.
Because it kind of seemed like they were, some were closer, some were further away.
Yeah.
Right.
They were
I'm gonna have to play it again because.
And they appear underneath the handle, they power up, and then they disappear. They are not going across the sky.
No.
They're just appearing and disappearing around the Big Dipper only.
It's so weird.
Are you able to pull up our website while you're on?
Should be able to.
And you can click on the 10X. That is probably one of the best videos explaining how many is coming in for that hour.
Yeah.
Or in or out. Like I said, I don't know. They can power up and then go out. Or are they coming in and powering up and then cloaking? So we're not sure if they're coming in or out.
No. Have you got your full address?
Yes, it's just Midwest Night Watchers. If you will look it up on YouTube.
Right. 1 second.
We've got quite a few Big Dipper videos of all 3 years, actually.
What do you think is the significance of them being in front of the Big Dipper?
I don't know. That's why I'm wondering, is it a portal area? But they're
Every
not
time we
coming out
talk
in
to-
one spot either. They're coming out in, you know, unless it's a big giant portal, they're coming out anywhere underneath the Dipper, not like they're all coming out of a star or anything.
And it could be behind the Big Dipper. It could be further out than the Big Dipper because, you know, the actual stars that make up the Big Dipper are spread out over the galaxy. They're not all in a nice little pattern in the sky right there. They're in different locations. So we don't know exactly where they're going or coming out of, but we just know when we see it, it's the Big Dipper.
Yeah.
And we just think there's a portal or a Stargate or something there that they're utilizing. Why this particular time or whenever Jane notices them coming out, because we've looked at Orion, we've looked at other ones, and unless we just haven't caught the right time, we don't see that kind of activity or anything happening anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's like a highway, and that's the exit, the Big Dipper exit they're all getting off of.
It might be a hot spot where they have to come through and jump to go somewhere else.
Right.
It might be just a waypoint or something for them. We don't know. And is it only open at a certain time, or are we just not catching them at other times of the year?
This year, once again, is like 6-7 weeks. It stops.
Yeah.
Now, I still see activity up there. There is 2 different activities. Ever since last May, you see things power up and brighten, you know, on and off in the northern skies. But this Big Dipper activity, when you see hundreds coming in, maybe thousands during that hour, that only lasts around 6-7 weeks.
So
is it the same time every year?
Same time of year, around August 8th it starts, and then it goes into like the 3rd week of September. I mean, same time of year, same time at night too. I should explain at the very beginning, like in August, you're seeing them in the pan, and it's around 12:30 to 1:30. And then when the weeks go on, it goes down to like 11 to 12. And then like the 6th week or so, it's 10:30 to 11:30. That makes sense. So they start at the pan, but the Dipper's moving. So then about the 5th week or so, the activity is underneath the handle. So I don't know if it's the same spot. It's just the Dipper that's moving in the sky.
Yeah. Which video is it, did you say?
It says 10x speed. It should be, if you click on videos, it should just be down just a little ways.
Oh,
and all the activity,
got it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right.
Got it. All the activity, it doesn't correlate with that big meteor shower in August?
No, the meteor showers are all in different spots. Yeah, this is just the Big Dipper only. That's what's bizarre. I've looked in other areas, and when I noticed it, I could see, you know, the power-ups with my naked eye. And then I got my psionics out. You can see tons more.
Wow.
Right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is just short of 3 minutes, so let's go.
This is 10x speed. There's actually a 29-minute video that I shrunk down to like 3 minutes. Look how many's coming up.
But they're just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere. Yes. And this, now they're coming out from underneath the handle. They're not in the pan.
What?
So this has been a few weeks in. And there is just tons and tons and tons nonstop for that hour. All different directions.
Oh my God.
And yes, at first we went, oh, gotta be satellites. Then we're thinking, these can't be satellites. And that, you know, we're not saying they're metal ships either. They could be energy ships. We don't really know. It's obvious they're way, way up there in the sky. And that's every single night.
I need to start going out more.
Yeah, it stopped a few weeks ago. I was just kind of bummed, like, oh man. Now we gotta wait till next year to see if it happens again.
But then some of it, they just come out of nowhere, then fade into nothing.
Every single one. They just come out of nowhere, they power up, and then they disappear.
it's like it's not even. So they're coming. So this part seems to be where a lot of them are coming from.
Right.
Yeah, underneath the handle right
But-
now. Yes. And
But
at the
then some of
beginning,
them
they
go
were
in the opposite
they were rubber
direction,
bands.
Not even-
disappear where they came. The other ones
that
came out of.
That. So
And then
a
you'll
lot,
have
the
some go the
majority of them
opposite
seem to be
direction.
coming out of here. Oh yeah, you've got these coming across, and
So we definitely can't explain it. I mean, I don't know if they're metal ships. They could be, orbs. Just energy ships. We don't really know. I just know this is the third year it's happened. And I've been trying to get people's attention, saying, okay, August is coming up. Everybody look at the Big Dipper. I was trying to get everyone's attention. And then I uploaded that first video this year. It's happening again. Everyone watch. So I've been trying to get people's attention on it, that there is something going on up here. And once again, it lasted about 6-7 weeks, and then he stopped.
Wow.
oh my god!
And that's not satellites. Maybe they're bugs.
I wonder if you could run it by an astronomer what
I was gonna say
if they would have any kind of explanation as to what it could possibly be, like a natural cause.
Right. I mean, like we're saying, we're not saying that every single one of them is a UFO or an unexplained thing. I mean, some of them could be satellites. We don't know, but that many at that time, and if it's not Starlink or something that is known for many satellites in a row, and a lot of these aren't in a row. They just kind of go whichever way.
Yeah, they're all just. It's like someone's got a load of that whatever and just throwing it up in the air.
It's almost like you open up
fireflies and open up.
Nicole, I was just getting ready to say that.
It's just random.
Yeah, it baffles me.
Erratic.
I mean, it just
then you talk.
Baffles me.
You talk with somebody like James Rink or Tony Rodriguez, and they tell you that we have cargo ships leaving and coming from our galaxy all the time that are taking cargo out. And so then that makes us wonder, okay, is this part of where they come back and forth from? And that's like a trade route, or is that, I mean, we just don't know. We're just looking for explanations.
And we're good friends with Jim Goodall. And I've asked him about this also. And Jim said, you know what? Back in the 1990s, so-and-so told me that we're able to take ET home back then. And he said, whatever you're seeing, he said 90% of what you're seeing up there, it's either ours or from this earth. Not what we're all thinking. And I kind of go, I spent thousands of dollars on all this equipment. I'm watching us.
Yeah. Well, he worked at Lockheed Martin, didn't he? I've interviewed him a couple of times. And yeah, he said the same. He goes, there's only a very small percentage that's possibly coming from somewhere else.
Right. Jim thinks it's ours. Most of the stuff is ours. So I'm thinking, okay, is this missions of us going in and out of the Big Dipper? It did kind of bum me, like, oh, I was kind of hoping to see Pleiadians or something like that. But more likely, we may be seeing ours from our government that they're saying that we don't have. But he said back in the 1990s, this guy, was an expert, said, Jim, we're capable of taking ET home. Well, what can we do now? Probably quite a bit. So those could be ours. I don't know. It may be missions coming in and out of the Dipper.
That's almost just as interesting, though, to think about what we're capable of as a species.
But just because there is, doesn't mean to say there's not Pleiadians on there.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, we've been told that Pleiadians have been working with the presidents. Some pictures that you see, people say, that's a Pleiadian. I've seen those kind of pictures.
Well, the one that I seen in the shopping centre outside McDonald's was like Pleiadian. She's at least 6.5 foot tall, very, very pure white skin, white hair, piercing blue, like crystal eyes.
Wow.
And it's like I'm just stood staring, like proper, because she didn't fit in. He's like completely out of place. I'll give the full story to Albert Rosales, so he could document it. And he said he's had quite a few stories like that of seeing alien type beings in shopping centres.
Wow.
So
You're among us.
Yeah.
Yep, they're definitely
And if
there.
you want to observe people, that's a pretty good place to do it. Like,
Yeah, that's what I used to. I used to go and sit there and just people watch.
People watch.
yeah, you
It's
can
so
have
good. It's so good. Yeah, don't do it all the time. Yeah, can get
You want to be
unhealthy.
entertained? Just go to the mall and sit down, and just watch.
Yeah, just take a packed lunch, a picnic. You're
Yep.
all right. Job's
yeah,
good.
just watch people.
Yeah.
Just
You
don't
might
laugh out
catch
loud while you're
people.
looking at them.
No.
I don't. It brings up the movie They Live. I don't know if I actually want a pair of those sunglasses because I don't really know if I want to see what's walking around out there.
See, I'd like to see what's there. I really would.
Yeah, you just don't want to know what it is, right?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, once you put those glasses on, you see, then you can't unsee. That's the problem.
Oh, here's a question for you then. Excuse me. So, what if you put them glasses on and you looked at Jane and you see her as one of them?
Ew.
This is would you love me if I was a worm question?
So what would you do?
Scream.
I would just keep on doing what I'm doing. Not even.
No.
I'm not going to acknowledge what I saw or didn't see.
No. So what if
she thinks I'm an extraterrestrial most times.
No, I said that I think you used to be a Sasquatch.
Oh,
Oh, there
okay.
you go. Not far from it.
Yeah.
But what if you put them on and you looked in the mirror and seen yourself as one of them?
Oh, wow.
Ooh, deep questions.
Yeah.
I mean, do people know that they are or don't know that they are?
That's what I
mean,
mean.
that's a
Mhm.
What if we don't? What if we or they don't know what you actually are, and you're led to believe through society, the way that we're brought up, that you are human.
right.
Hmm.
I mean, they say, scientists and that say that our DNA in a place inside of it, they can't explain it. There is unknown DNA that they can't explain.
Mhm.
Whether it's ET or however you want to explain what the junk DNA in our system is.
They probably know.
What if that
sure.
DNA was actually the beginning of us and we've expanded our DNA off of that extraterrestrial or unknown DNA? What if that was our cell that started us and then we expanded from there?
They know what the junk DNA is. They just don't want to tell us.
Yeah, but why is it still there? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because in reality,
that's our original source, and the rest of our DNAs came off of that, and we've evolved or not evolved.
Well, that's what I mean. If we've evolved, then surely the DNA's evolved. So the junk DNA that has no use should then no longer be there.
It's probably not junk DNA. It's probably what they turned off, our abilities and stuff. And
yeah,
they don't, they shut it off.
It's
just
more
like when you're born, you have bits of your grandma's DNA, your mother's DNA, your father's DNA in you, and that doesn't ever go away. Does it diminish? Yeah, because we produce our own DNA on who we are, but those traces are still there.
So what if there was a way to reactivate it? Because say it is redundant, it's still there and it is still useful. If you found a way to reactivate it, would you do that to yourself?
528 hertz is a DNA repairer.
Is it? I need to write that down.
I have two tuning forks. I like the 428, the 432 and the 528. And if you looked up that hertz, it is a DNA repairer. I've been trying to use it to just try to enhance my gifts. So yeah, look up the 528 hertz on what it all does. It's actually a healing hertz.
I'm going to listen to that tonight.
I've
Let's see
added
what
it to my
happens.
list.
You go on Amazon, most popular ones is the 432 and the 528. You can get them in a duo. You don't need every single one or a 12 pack. But
No.
my
Well, what
favorite
if
one
that's
is
the key?
528. And I've got tuning pipe. Oh, there's one right here.
What if that's the key? What if you do 438 and
At the same
528 all
time.
them together? What if that's what unlocks something inside of you? What if you have all those binaural sounds coming into you and that's what activates something?
I went to Amazon, and these are called tuning pipes. And one is a 432 and the other one's a 528. And they're just like a tuning fork, but it's a pipe. And then you can wave it over you and stuff. And they're on Amazon. So yeah, the 528 is a DNA repairer.
Wow.
Right. I'm just looking now. Right. There's 432, 528, 639.
Yeah, there's a
And
bunch. They're all different. There's tons of
and
them.
777.
Right. But the 528 and the 432 are the most popular that the tuning fork therapists use.
528 is also referred to as the love frequency.
Ah.
Love.
Manifest love, emotional healing, whole body regeneration.
It is an amazing hertz. It's an amazing hertz. And I would recommend these tuning pipes. They're a little more expensive. It takes a few weeks to get, not 2 days, like a tuning fork on Amazon. But these tuning pipes are also amazing. I've taken them out in the backyard and just whacked them. Are they bringing UFOs? I don't know, but I love using these hertz. So yeah, the 528 is really powerful.
What shall I play some now and see if it has any effect?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You can go to, what is it, Tesla 369, and you can get the 432 and the 528 and just listen to the hertz.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I did.
So I just turned it up a bit. So this is on Spotify.
And yes, Brian, the 432 is healing also. Yes.
So this is 432.
I just know the 528 is for DNA.
Yeah, it reduces stress and anxiety. 432.
That's why they changed the music to 440, because they knew a little bit higher would not be a healing frequency. So a lot of the hymns in the church and the songs on the radio, they upped it to 440. It should be down to 432 because that is the healing frequency. And they knew that. They messed with our music. They did not want us to have that the 432. So they upped it to 440.
Well, this one is Love and Miracles.
Oh, I'll send you the ones that I really like that I listen to, and it's just they're just amazing, especially if you have them on a nice sound system, playing them, and you can just feel the energy.
Yeah. But definitely those two I would recommend. You don't have to go out and get a whole 12 set of them, and yes, all different hertzes for different things. But if you want something overall, when you mentioned DNA, and I went, duh, yeah, the 528 is a DNA repairer.
There we go. So I've made notes of all of that because I would forget in about 2 minutes' time.
I know, and I've been playing a lot of frequencies investigations, so I want to try those now.
Well, this is
tuning forks.
No, I have an app on my phone that plays like different frequencies. So
yeah.
Make a investigation to see if it kind of changes the activity.
Well, we're going to Rendlesham on Saturday, so I'm going to play the frequencies at the official UFO landing site, and let's see.
Even singing bowls, if you can get a nice singing bowl, whether it's a small one or a big one, and you ring that out. That is amazing, that frequency, and it spreads far. I mean, people say that brings a lot of activity too.
I do the singing bowls in the backyard.
Yeah.
I do all kinds of things in the backyard.
No, that's good.
If you search,
this is good because this is what we need to learn. What all these different things do and where to find them and where to try them and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Rosie, you're right. The tuning pipes are a little more expensive than a tuning fork. And like I said, it takes a few more weeks to get them compared to a couple of days. But I hit both of them together. It's a 432 and the 528 together. It's beautiful.
Oh, Tammy wanted to know what the app. It's just called Frequency.
Frequency app.
It's Frequency.
Yeah.
And
it's just a black and yellow app, is it?
Very basic.
One?
Yep.
And you go on YouTube, there's all kinds of music.
Hours and hours of those frequencies for whatever frequency you want and whatever healing or cleansing or anything. I mean, it says right in the description. And like I said, if you have a good subwoofer and a good sound system, it is just amazing how it penetrates your body.
369 Tesla is our favorite. They've got all different videos on there.
Yeah.
This doesn't play like nice music. It just plays a frequency. Like it's just
right.
Like binaural beats.
No, it's just
it's just a straight.
Oh, okay.
The straight sine wave of the frequency itself.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But I mean, if you look back into history, you know, the cathedrals and temples, you know, were all designed for frequencies. I mean, the 432. I was watching a show where they went into like an old pyramid, and they actually did the same thing, played the frequency like you just had on your phone.
Yeah.
And they could just feel the percussion coming into their body. And then they played other frequencies, and it just kind of like dulled down and didn't do anything, did it? 432 did.
Yeah.
So our churches and cathedrals were set up for 432. So not only was it a healing place for your soul, but it was a healing place for your body to regenerate you for mind, body, and soul. And that's why they took out a lot of this stuff, the church bells.
And the
church
pipe
bells
organs
were amazing. You know, church bells were at a certain frequencies, and it wards off demons and demonic. And they took them out of our schools and our churches. It's hard to find school bells and church bells anymore.
You play
it's
those
all about
pipe
the frequencies.
You play a pipe organ in one of those giant cathedrals, and it just resonates.
Yeah.
And there's not too many pipe organs left. They don't want us healed.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're destroying these things.
In the therapy and the healing power of music in general. So
yeah.
Right. We do have a question for either Gerald or Jane. So it's about the cameras. This is from Og. Is there any particular camera catches them more as you have a few cameras on? So I'm guessing it says Skyfish and what have you.
Well, we have the psionics.
But the psionics don't pick up orbs and rods and skyfish because the psionics is not IR. So you need to, but the thing is, I go on the psionics and you see like 80% more stars, but the ATM binoculars is with an IR on it. And then our outdoor cameras has the IR. That's what's picking up these rods and skyfish is the infrared.
Yeah.
And all our outdoor cameras are all from the same company, and they're basically the same spec, only some of them zoom in better, but they're all 4K cameras, and they all have pretty much the same optics in them. So they all perform the same. So we don't have any different ones besides our handheld ATN binoculars, which is night vision and day vision, and psionics. So we only have 3 choices. And like Jane said, the psionics doesn't do as well as the orbs as what the ATN does, and the security camera doesn't necessarily do as good for night vision for the sky as the psionics does. So it just depends on what you want to look at.
Psionics is best for stars, and the psionics cameras. We've got the psionics Aurora. They're down to like what $300 and some, now, and we paid like $600 or so for ours when we got it. So the psionics Auroras are going down in price. They're a nice little handheld thing. It's daytime. And then at dusk and nighttime, you got 3 different settings And that is beautiful for stars. You're just not going to pick up orbs and things like that on it.
Now, I looked at them a couple of years ago, and there's like 860 quid.
Yeah.
They've gone
their
down.
new cameras are still up around $1,000, but the ones like when we bought them that were $900 are now like $299 or whatever. So it's still a good deal for you. But Science Bob told us the other day when we were talking to him that he bought the newest psionics, the one that mounts to the monocle that mounts to your helmet. And he says it is amazing how many stars and stuff you can see in the sky now with that.
The one that's $3,000.
Yeah, it's like $2,900 or something.
Oh yeah, spend $3,000. You're gonna get a nice camera.
Yeah.
Rosie said that you guys should plan some kind of watching event online, maybe a camp out for next year.
We were thinking of that, but we've got bad news. Our next door neighbor that has been missing for 8 years, not living in her house, her husband passed away. She moved back home. We should not have a camp out in the backyard when the old lady just moved in a few weeks ago. So, I mean, we would have had everything. You know, we could have been screaming and whooping and hollering, but no, the lady who's been gone for 8 years moved back home.
I mean, if anybody wants to get a hold of us through MidwestNightWatchers@gmail.com, we can plan a time for you just to show up individually and check out.
Yeah, but not a camp out.
But as far as a big bonfire and camp out, we can't do that right now.
No. Brian said you can get a camera from Teamy. You can see dragons, ogres, and unicorns for 20 quid.
I want to see a dragon.
You probably could.
You just never know. I mean, look at the story with Tom Horn and giving his mother eye drops, you know, for her eye condition, and pretty soon she's like acting different. And Tom asked her, you know, what's going on? Are you having any pain or any problems? And she goes, who are all these people in our house? He goes, what people? There's nobody here. She goes, I see all kinds of people walking through our house all the time. And it only started after she'd taken that medication for her eyes.
Oh.
And then when they went to the optometrist or the eye doctor to find out, okay, hey, what's going on with this? Is this a weird side effect? Is it something? He didn't get the same bottle back. They gave him a different bottle, and then it didn't happen no more.
Weird side effects. Like
we were seeing apparitions and ghosts walking through her house.
Couple of drops of LSD.
Yeah. Don't know.
Did it change what visible light came into her eyes? Was it something that we could probably do all the time with optics?
And she said that they realized that she could see them also, and they were surprised.
So it's two-way.
Link for the eye drop.
I mean, it's kind of like the dicyanin glasses they had during the military. Once they put on the glasses, they could see the spectrum. And then as soon as they found out that you could see them, then they started coming at you. But if you took the glasses off, then nothing happened.
And then somebody else tried them on, and they could see exactly the same thing. And then they was trying to say it was one of the chemicals that was used in the red dye for the glass.
Right. So it goes right back to the movie They Live, where you put on the glasses and all of a sudden they're saying, hey, we have one that can see us.
Right.
They can see us now.
Yeah, but just because you're seeing something, like, you also shouldn't be like hearing it, and you know, you might have a weird visual thing, but it wouldn't be doing anything like that.
Your eyes and ears are connected.
Right.
Like,
but how do they know? How do they know that you can see them? I mean, I know all of a sudden, but during our normal time, we look at stuff all the time. Then all of a sudden they say, hey, how can you see me? How do you know?
It's going to be like people looking around, then you just go.
I think you in the mall with the Palladian.
Yeah. It could just be that, though. Joking aside, it could be.
But I don't understand why we can't take these goggles, Google goggles or whatever, VRs, and be able to adjust them so we can see other spectrums, so we can be able to have that same effect. Maybe they do.
Could.
Other spectrums, you'd probably freak out because there'd be like giant tentacle monsters just like walking down the street.
stroking your hair.
There you go.
Oh, you're a pretty one.
Nobody would be able to get through their everyday life.
We tried the cardboard 3D glasses also. Gerald got some on Amazon. You put two of them together.
Flip them round.
And opposite way, you put them together, and you can see some different stuff, but you can't use them at night.
I glued a couple sets together, and it is pretty weird. I haven't seen nothing unusual, but it does turn your daytime sky and mid evening sky a different color, and it's kind of creepy, I gotta say.
Yeah, we tried it, but you just can't use them at night because you can't see anything at night. It just, but it is different.
I might have to get some because it's Jessica that was talking about that.
Yeah,
you get like 6 pairs for $5 or something. So
yeah, I think I bought. I mean, they were cheap. I think for like $3 or $4, I got 10 of them in the mail.
Yeah.
And we taped one pair, and then you glued another pair, right?
Yeah, I finally just got to the point where I was just super gluing the one set on top of the other one, and it just matched perfect. So it's just like wearing normal glasses.
I'll have to look into it. Pun unintended.
Or it's either a gimmick, and Amazon wants to get rid of all their clearance and get rid of all these cardboard glasses, and they're making it up.
Harry Potter.
Huh?
Have you seen the Harry Potter? Have you seen Harry Potter?
Yeah.
The movie where Luna's wearing the little goggles that let her see the nargles or whatever they are. It's like those. That's going to be your 3D glasses.
Well, it's like
all the nargles.
The National Treasure too. When he's flipping the lenses of the blue and the red, you can see more in that map.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder. Huh?
Well, it's just cutting out or letting you see, the waves of the sunlight or whatever that we can't necessarily see, or it's cutting, blocking some out. I mean, that's what blue blockers for out in the sun, or monitor blockers. It takes out that certain spectrum so it doesn't bother you. But what if you can add certain colors or a filter to increase what you're seeing?
If you can take it away, surely you can add to it.
I would think so. I mean, that's how they came up with dicyanin glasses. So obviously it does work.
Yeah.
If we only knew the formula.
I know.
So before you give your kids any cheap sunglasses or something that you think is just a toy or funny, you better look through them first to see what your children are seeing.
I've actually got a pair of red goggles, what I bought with a steampunk hat. I've never actually put them on. I've never put them on. You're like the Mad Max round glasses with the elastic.
Because I wanted to make my own Delco goggles, the ones for the Estes method, where like they have the lights flashing.
Yeah.
The sensory deprivation thing. So I got a pair of those steampunk goggles and made my own.
I mean, wouldn't that be something if actually just a cheap pair of sunglasses that weren't meant to do anything, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, this opens up the whole spectrum.
Yes. Yeah.
What if it's just laying there for a couple of dollars in a cheap bin somewhere? What if that one glasses was a mistake and they coded it different than the others somehow?
Could be. Or what if it's just simply, I don't know, you just put a layer of oil or lemon juice or something over the top. It could be something as simple as that.
Now Andy's going to be like that scientist in his kitchen now, with like trying all these different things about sunglasses.
Well, I will be soon.
Oh, there you
go.
Yeah. Page 52. I think it was. Or it might be 56. There we go. Quick glimpse. That tells you what to do, how to do it. And that's all I'm saying.
Brian,
you're saying. All right. Somebody's going to have a fun time. Or if you listen to some of the stories, some people don't have a very fun time.
No.
See, that's what I'd be afraid of.
Yeah. It'd have to be a controlled experiment, I think.
Well, see, it's just like Betty and Barney Hill. I mean, she wanted to explore the galaxies and ride on a spaceship and have the time of her life because that's what she loved. But yet Barney was afraid that he was going to be abducted and experimented on and have all this bad stuff happen. Well, guess what? One had a good experience, one had a bad experience. So that's the same way when you go into places, whether you're hunting Bigfoot or paranormal or doing mind altering drugs. If you think the worst is going to happen to you, your mind's and your conscience is going to make sure that you have what you're thinking of.
Yep. Yep. Right. Unfortunately, we have come to the end.
Again?
Aww.
Don't press any button. Do not press anything.
I didn't do it.
This time it came to a natural conclusion.
A natural end. But just before we do go, I just want to show Nicole this video.
I just wanted to say hi and I ruined everything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, gum.
That's like a very bouncy orb too.
Oh, did you see the beginning?
That was kind of just like floating along.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, with the thing. And then
we had a skyfish rod go inside an orb.
Yeah, that's
never went out the backside. That's what's so weird about it. We can't.
There we go.
I mean, what?
It like absorbed it.
And then they get kicked. Someone gets kicked out.
Yeah.
Yep. Boop, gone.
That's bizarre. Yeah, and then
it's like a rabbit in a magician's hat, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, where did it go?
Vanished. Right. So unfortunately, we are at the end. People are demanding a part 3.
They are.
Oh my gosh. Well, we can next time we can show our the one instance so far we've caught where we think the portal in the tree is, and we can
Sasquatch orb picture that we've got more we could probably send.
Yeah.
So let's get by your 24-hour show, and we'll schedule something after that sometime.
Yes, because Sunday
I've got some good power ups that you can actually see them power up and go down. We've got more videos we can show.
Yeah. Oh, before we go, I need to show off my.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw your picture on Facebook the other day where you had the symbols and the color added.
Yeah. So I'm having 4 more going round. So there's going to be 8 in total. They hurt more than that.
Because they're on the closer to the knuckles.
That one, like my hand was on fire, telling you. But now it's loving it. So I'll just get the rest of it done, and then that's it for a while, I think.
Chicken lips.
So did you arrange those symbols in a certain way, or do they have a meaning?
Yeah, so each one of these have a meaning. They are I'll tell you. Inspiration. Runes. Inspiration, health, protection, and energy.
Oh.
Did you have to look that up?
No, I just looked at what I messaged you yesterday.
Okay. I was like, they're on your hand and you have to look them up. That's pretty bad.
I couldn't remember because there's about 16 in total to choose from. I couldn't remember them all, and some of them are very similar to the others. So
yeah, I thought I went back to the movie Stargate where they had to take the symbols and put them in the right order for something to happen. So what if you take those symbols and put them on pieces of paper, then move them around to see if anything different happens?
Let's find
You're
out.
gonna open like a portal in your hand.
Oh,
yeah. You just did that then.
We'll never see Andy again.
I know.
Yeah, if you actually have the ruined stones in front of it, you can move them around and play a 432 frequency and see if anything happens.
Yeah, if you don't ever see me. Yeah.
The symbol on Andy's hands are his usual order from Chinese.
Could be true. Could be true. But if you don't ever see me again, then something happened. It could be good or bad. We'll never know.
Well,
yeah, like the guy in Sedona that disappeared through the portal in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever appeared again. I think he's still missing. Unless it was a fake.
Maybe he's one of them orbs in your backyard.
Oh,
could be. Maybe he went through the Big Dipper already. We don't know.
That's the paranormal.
Just keep looking.
for milk. No, they went through the portal.
You go out one day and he'll be there knocking on the back door. It could happen. It could happen. Right. So I am going to have to end this now. So thank you, Carol. Thank you, Jane. It's been absolute pleasure.
For having us.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yes. It's been wonderful. We enjoy coming on and talking about all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah,
and
I love it. So, yes. So we're getting nearer to the Halloween special, which is only me, Nicole, and Tommy. So that is 2 weeks on Friday.
Oh my, it's getting there. Wow.
Then 3 weeks on Friday is a 24-hour. I am not prepared at all.
no.
I just keep thinking, I'm up Friday for work, 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
When I finish on the Saturday, I'm going straight to a Halloween party.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's all I've got in my head. I'm not, nothing else is, not just nothing. So we'll see what happens with that. And as you know, we only know 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 people that are coming on. We know of 3 others, but we don't know who they are. The rest of them, we don't have a clue. No, it could be these 2 down here. We don't know. No one's saying anything. We have not got a clue.
Wow.
No one's saying nothing.
No. Amazing.
So, I know nothing.
I know nothing. I know even less. But it's going to be good. It's going to.
I can neither confirm or deny that statement.
I know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. But it's going to be.
It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It will. Yeah.
Mystery guest.
And we have a few people coming on co-hosting with us as well at different times. I know who they are because obviously I've spoke to them and asked them. But I think there's a couple that are coming on that we don't know that are going to co-host.
I don't know anybody who's co-hosting, so
there you go.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm not even sure if you know if Tommy's going to make it or not. Did you promise him a birthday cake or what? How'd you get him?
Yeah, how'd you get him to come on?
He doesn't know if he's coming on. He's coming on the Halloween one because he's booked the week off work. He's booked the week off work.
He says he's coming on the Halloween one.
Yes.
He
says.
Just promise him cake or something. He'll be there.
Yeah.
Poor Tommy.
I know. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
We love Tommy.
Right.
We love Tommy.
We do. And we need to do a show with him to promote it on the podcast for that Halloween and the 24-hour one. So we could do that on it'd have to be a Saturday. So
we'll figure it out.
Sort it out. Right. So we're going to go. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Yes, I know. Thank you, everyone who's listening on podcast. Really do appreciate it. If you would like to help support the channel, you can do that using Patreon. I am considering keeping the YouTube membership. When I eventually get it back, I can reapply in about 12 days' time. So I'm going to see how that goes because there is still some money in there, so I can't close it straight away. So I'm going to see how it goes if people want to use YouTube or Patreon, and then just go from there. So, and then I'm just going to do the super chat, and that's it. But we'll see how it goes.
Just a reminder, everybody, keep everybody in Florida, North Carolina in their thoughts.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So, yes, stay safe. Do whatever you need to do.
That's right.
Yep.
Right. So on that note, I'm going to end it. And we'll see you on Friday. We are joined by Alex Lovelock. Because that's who we're meeting up with on Saturday at Rendlesham. So there'll be myself, Tim, Simon, Alex, Og, and Alex's moderator, Elaine, and her husband, Simon. And I think that's... Oh, and Mike Millward, if he's not working. I don't think he is. So there's going to be about 8 of us going. So it should be good.
Wow.
But we're going to talk more about that on Friday's show anyway. We're going to explain what we're taking, what we're doing, and exactly or not exactly, but pretty much whereabouts we're going to be going in the forest. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye and see you Friday at the same time. So take care, everyone.
Bye,
everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.